So tell us how this movie, how you thought about this, like how you came up with this idea,
Hmm.
how you put it together. Like, was it frustrating to make? Did it take a long time?
Right.
How you did it, what
Well,
your plans for it are, what your SIN number is, your mother's maiden name,
definitely.
and your all your bank account details as well.
Cool. I'll start with the bank account stuff. So it's 555. Anyway, to go back, this I created this movie through the pandemic, through like it wasn't an idea of mine beforehand. I was making like Instagram videos of like called hobbiting around. I don't know if either of you saw
I
those.
I
Oh yeah, I
watched
did
I
see
watched
that.
some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and those were like very fun for me and easy for me to make, but also they weren't getting very much engagement on my Instagram, and people were telling me to make them shorter, and I didn't want to make them shorter. So I just said, fuck it, I'm going to make it so long.
Oh, shorter.
Yeah, exactly. So I made it. So I decided I'm just going to like not release content for months and just make the biggest content basically, because like the way it has been in the pandemic, and I think people slowly learn, and it can be frustrating. I'm not on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, but it's really frustrating to get engagement, and that's sort of the only way we can get the validation us as comics want, because we're so used to the immediate going out. If I need that sort of like creative validation, I go out to a show and I try and do my best, and if I get the laughs, that feeds me through the next day, and we weren't getting that. And so I was trying to seek that through some sort of like engagement and validation through social media and content posting and stuff like that. And I just wasn't feeling it. What I wanted, because I wanted this thing to go. I wanted every video I made to go like viral or something, because I like that's the only way it felt like I was actually doing something, which is like wrong, and that thought process is what made me want to make something longer and make it feel like more of an accomplishment,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
if like something I'm proud of that I worked this entire time on, basically. So I decided to start calling it a feature movie, like a feature film. And
How long did it take you to do?
it started beginning of May, and I finished it in October.
And why did you choose? Did you have a feeling it would be released by December, and you chose Christmas, or?
I was, to be honest, so often I was worried I wouldn't get it finished by Christmas. I was just thinking, oh, it'll finish when it's finished. There were times where like the work on it, like I would slow down on it, and I would procrastinate and stuff like that. So I was worried that it wouldn't happen, and that was especially during the summer where I felt like I had more to do, and I was allowed to go outside. I was, but eventually around September, I realized, I can finish this by December easily, and it's all I did for September and October, basically.
So do you just have a computer full of Santa Claus pictures and such now?
Yes. Probably. I'm not even, this isn't an exaggeration, like thousands, maybe. Thousands of photos saved on the computer.
It's really an impressive feat, man. I was impressed from start to finish. It's pretty amazing. And how did you? So like, how did the scripting work? Obviously, it's loose scripting, but you did. There is a lot of direction that you had to do. Like you did have to direct this movie,
right?
And you had to choose the right images and even do some edits and such, and make sure that everything drops. So like, how did the whole production really? How did you do this?
So how I wrote it, basically, I never wrote a word down. A few times I wrote words down. Those parts where I come in as myself, those were the few times where I actually wrote what I was going to say down. But I would just go in and record with this microphone you see me holding right now, and I would record and add in the sound effects as I'm recording. So it was an audio movie before it was a visual movie. I put all the visuals in later.
Okay. And
So
did you use like GarageBand and iMovie? Is that what you did?
I used Audacity, and then I
Okay.
used iMovie. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good too. I mean, as someone who kind of knows that
Mhm.
kind of thing, it's yeah, it sounds really good. That's awesome. So you just kind of guessed your way through this movie then?
Yeah. In my head when I was recording, yeah, like I kind of knew what was going to happen next in each
Mm.
scene. I never when I found out what the ending was going to be, which was I don't know where it was in the recording process, but when I found out what the ending was going to be, which you talked about with the golfing and stuff, I fell in love with that ending, and I was like,
We are ghosts.
yeah. Um, uh, like I fell in love with that ending, and I was like, okay, that means I need to finish this. I need to make it to that point. And so yeah, once I thought of that ending, I kind of figured out how I was going to get there, and I wanted, and at one point, another point of writing I did, I wrote down all the threads that I threw up in the air, and the ones that were worth like spiking, like catching and spiking down, or like just some of them I just left. But most of the threads I tried to tie a bow on at the end.